Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pelshia, moderator for the conference call. Welcome to ONGC's Q4 FY24 earnings conference call. We have with us today Mr. Manish Patil, Director HR, Mr. K.C. Ramesh, ED, CCF and CFO, and team who will interact with investors and analysts to discuss Q4 earnings. As a reminder, all participants will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and then 0 on your touch-tone telephone. Please note that this conference is recorded. I would now like to hand over the floor to Mr. Manish Patil for his opening remarks. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just to introduce, I am Manish Patil, Director HR, ONGC. I welcome you all in this ONGC earnings call for Q4 and FY24. Thank you all for joining us on the call. I am joined here by my colleagues from ONGC, Mr. K.C. Ramesh, ED, Chief Corporate Finance and CFO, Mr. Pawan Agrawal, Chief Corporate Planning, Mr. Ashok Kumar, Group General Manager, Business Development, Mr. Devendra Kumar, Chief Commercial, Mr. B.R. Subudhi, Head Corporate Accounts, Mr. Prakash Joshi, Head Corporate Budget and Investor Relations, and Mr. Lakshman Gora from Corporate Finance. Mr. Vinod Hallan, Head Finance, and Mr. Mukul Bhatnagar, Head Planning and Strategy have joined from ONGC Videsh Limited. Let me share with all of you that in FY23-24, we have posted highest ever standalone net profit of rupees 40,526 crore, highest ever consolidated net profit of rupees 57,101 crore, and highest ever total dividend of rupees 15,411 crore. We have made total 11 discoveries during the year, and our reserve replacement ratio 2P was 1.15, more than 1 for the 18th consecutive year. ONGC drilled 541 wells, the highest recorded in past 34 years, comprising 103 exploratory and 438 development wells. ONGC invested around rupees 37,000 crore capex in FY24, thus achieving highest ever utilization, excluding acquisitions, in the financial year for strengthening the growth prospects of the company. To counter the decline in production from some of the matured and marginal fields, ONGC is taking proactive steps by implementing well interventions and advancing new well drilling activities. The result of these efforts is becoming evident, and it is heartening to share that crude oil production on a standalone basis was up by 4.3% in Q4 of FY23-24 as compared to Q4 of last year. Crude oil production including JV share was also up by 2.4% in the quarter 4 of this year. Although there were decline in gas production by 3% during Q4, the decline in production from matured fields will be further compensated in the upcoming quarters with commencement of additional production from upcoming projects which are under various stages of development. Crude oil production has already commenced from KG 98/2, and hopefully we would be better placed with the coming up of additional oil and gas in the subsequent quarters. The board has recommended final dividend of 50%, that is rupees 2.50 on each equity share of rupees 5 with payout of rupees 3145 crore. This is in addition to 2 interim dividends of rupees 9.75, 195%, with payout of rupees 12266 crores. The total dividend for FY23-24 would be rupees 12.25 per share, 245%, with a total payout of rupees 15411 crore, the highest ever dividend. Our consolidated financials are also robust, with the highest ever net profit of rupees 57,101 crore, with the increment coming from the subsidiary HPCL and MRPL. Now, for giving you all a brief synopsis of the results, I hand it over to our Chief Corporate Finance and CFO, Mr. K.C. Ramesh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just to introduce, I am K.C. Ramesh, ED, CCF and CFO ONGC. I welcome you all in this ONGC earning call Q4 FY24 and FY24. As our Director HR has already explained the major highlights, now I'll take you through the numbers in some more detail. ONGC has compiled its financial results for the fourth quarter and the year ended 31st March 2024, which have been reviewed by the statutory auditors. The financial results have already been released on 20th of May 2024 through a press note and sent to the stock exchanges. This has also been sent to the analysts who are there on our mailing list. Here is a brief of the synopsis of the results. The company has earned a net profit, that is profit after tax, of 9,869 crore during the fourth quarter of FY24 as against the restated profit of rupees 528 crore during fourth quarter FY23. That's an increase of 9,341 crore. The profit after tax for FY24 has increased by 429 crores from the restated profit after tax of 40,097 crore in FY23 to 40,526 crores in FY24. The increase in net profit during the Q4, FY24 and FY24 is on account of the increase in the other income, that is interest, dividend and exception item, which was there in the last year but not in the current year. As you all know that last year we had taken a hit of around 12,000 odd crores on account of booking GST on royalty, of which the exceptional item was around 9,285 crores. The sale revenue for Q4 FY24 and FY24 has decreased by 1,571 crore, that is 4.4%, and by 16,980 crores, that is 11%, as against the corresponding quarter and the previous year, mainly due to the lower crude and gas prices. These revenues are of course before the SAD adjustment. The billing net of VAT and CST for crude during the fourth quarter of the current fiscal was $80.81 per barrel as against $7.12 a barrel in the same period of the last year. That is an increase of $3.69 per barrel. The exchange rate of rupees versus dollars stood at 83.03 vis-a-vis 82.26 in the last year. Thus, the realization for crude in rupee terms stood at 6,709 per barrel in Q4 FY24 vis-a-vis 6,344 per barrel in Q4 FY23. That is an increase of 365 per barrel, 5.8% in INR terms. Similarly, the gross billing for crude during the current year was at $80.77 a barrel as against $91.90 a barrel in the same period of the last year. That is a decrease of 11.13 per barrel. The exchange rate of rupee versus dollar stood at 82.79 vis-a-vis 80.39. Thus, realization for crude in rupee terms stood at 6,687 a barrel in FY24 vis-a-vis 7,388 a barrel in FY23, which amounted to a decrease of 701 per barrel, that is 9.5% in INR terms. The expenditure on statutory levies, that is royalties, cess and excise duty, have decreased in FY24 by 8,486 crore, that is 18.7% in comparison with similar period of the previous year. This decrease in statutory levies is attributable mainly to the decrease in sale price of crude oil and natural gas and levy of special additional excise duty by the Government of India on production of petroleum crude at a rate revised every fortnight based on international crude price. This SAD on crude have been levied with effect from 1st July 2022, which amounted to 11,004 crore in FY23 and 8,661 crore during FY24. The operating expenditure has increased by rupees 280 crores, that is 3.5%, from 7,986 crores in Q4 FY23 to 8,266 crores in Q4 FY24. Similarly, the operating expenditure in FY24 has increased by 1,803 crores, that is 7.2%, from 24,922 crores in FY23 to 26,725 crore in FY24. The increase is mainly on account of the increase in other expenses, that is by rupees 901 crore, mainly at Western Offshore by 615 crores towards VAT amnesty, 160 crores, interest payment towards Vivad Se Vishwas 393 crore, and increase in repair of various platforms post-cyclone, repair and maintenance of 483 crores, and also water injection cost by 271 crores, mainly at Western Offshore, due to increase in activity and CSR amounting to 198 crores. Depreciation, depletion and impairment costs for Q4 FY24 and FY24 stood at 5,676 crores and 20,495 crores respectively, as against rupees 4,860 crores and 16,819 crores during the corresponding previous year. The depreciation for FY24 has increased mainly the Eastern Offshore Asset 98/2 project by rupees 1,292 crores due to the depreciation on ROU asset of FPSO. The depletion for FY24 has increased by 1,584 crore, mainly at Western Offshore by 1,446 crore due to increase of facilities and abandonment costs of various fields, change in reserve production mix of various fields. The company at a consolidated level has earned a net profit, that is profit after tax, of 11,527 crores during Q4 FY24 as against 6,478 crore during Q4 FY23, that is an increase of 5,049 crores amounting to 77.94%. Similarly, the company at a consolidated level has earned a net profit, that is profit after tax, of 57,101 crore during FY24 as against 34,046 crores during FY23, that is an increase of 23,055 crores, 67.7%. This increase in profit can be mainly attributed to our subsidiary HPCL and MRPL. Well friends, with this I finish my briefing of the fourth quarter results for the financial year 2023-24. We will be very happy to take questions from you. We would request you to restrict your queries on financial results only. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad and wait for your turn to ask the question. If you would like to withdraw your request, you may do so by pressing star and 1 again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. First question comes from Probal Sen from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. I had a couple. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes. I just had a couple of queries. Firstly, on this quarter result, just wanted to understand why have the other operating expenses gone up so sharply? When I say other operating expenses, I mean, other than employee expenses and selling and administrative expenses, the other expenses line has also shown a huge increase on QOQ level.
Yeah, Prabhal, just hold on for a second.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think probably you're talking about the other expenditure of 901 crore, if I understood correctly. This actually, the expenses increased by 901 crore from 393 crores in FY23 to 1294 crore in FY24. This is mainly on account of, mainly at Western Offshore by 381 crores towards payment of VAT amnesty, which we had done in Q3 23-24. Rupees 160 crores. Interest payment towards settlement of Vivad Se Vishwas is about 170 crores. And increase in repairs of various platforms post cyclone Tauktae by 62 crores and some repair expenditure at Assam asset by 191 crores due to and interest paid for Vivad Se Vishwas 2 scheme of Megha at our Assam asset. And at CBM asset, there is an expenditure of 21 crores of repair and maintenance.
Okay. The second question was in the opening remarks. I think Sir mentioned that the gas decline will be compensated with the startup of new assets. So primarily, we are talking about basically the KG Basin assets, at least from the context of FY25. Or are there any other assets also that we can look forward to from a gas production perspective for next year?
Okay, I'm Pawan Agarwal, Chief Corporate Planning. With respect to the managing the decline in the gas production, so in the current financial year of 24-25, we envisage the increase in gas primarily from KG 98/2. However, we are also working on the monetization of the stranded gas with the completion of the Urja Ganga pipeline and the Indradhanush gas pipeline. So we are hoping to increase our 0.3 BCM of the gas we envisage to monetize during the current financial year from the standard gas fields in Silchar, CBM Bokaro, Chenewala, Jorat, Hatta in Vindhyan Basin.
Sorry, sir, could you run the asset names again? I couldn't quite catch that.
Again, repeat.
Bokaro.
1 BCM gas from 98/2.
Okay.
And 0.3 BCM of the gas from the stranded gas fields in the different geographies of the country in Silchar or in CBM Bokaro, Jorat, Hatta in the Vindhyan Basin and Chenewala.
Okay. Understood, sir. Last question, if I may. The reason for the capex increase so substantially to 37,000 crore, which we have done, have there been any major, capitalization of certain spends that has happened? And what can we look at in terms of run rate for the next year, rather FY25?
Yeah, Prabal, just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have seen that the capex expenditure is almost around 37,000 crores during this year, FY24. And the main reason for that is, the 98/2 project which we have in the East Coast, we had some issues with respect to, change order and settlement with the contractors as a result of change in contractors. So a large amount was spent there, and then thereafter we had a certain expenditure on pipeline replacement project PRP7 in the Western Offshore. In addition to that, we also had settled a lot of cases through Vivad Se Vishwas. That also is to the tune of around almost 2,000 crores in total, which we have capitalized. Because they were
3,000 crores.
2,000. There were the cases of the projects which we had executed earlier through engineering services in Mumbai, and the disputes, we had settled the dispute, so we had capitalized those to the respective projects.
Then we had created some infrastructure in Goa, basically, which was around tune of 500 to 700 crores. Which one? Which we created. So it was around 250 crore, but rest of the expenditure also we are going to incur on that.
So, sir, FY25 should be building this kind of a run rate, or should it again normalize back to the 32 to 34,000 crore guidance that we have been giving and we have been seeing earlier?
In this, there were a number of one-offs, as Sir was telling, Vivad Se Vishwas, and some expenditure came up from CapEx. But you can see the range would be somewhere in the range of 33 to 35,000.
33 to 35,000. All right, sir. I have more questions, but I'll come back immediately. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Mayank Maheshwari from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
Thank you for doing the call, sir. A couple of questions from my end. The first one, if you can just give us a bit more details around the gas production and what you were talking about in terms of opportunity to grow that production. Because over the last 2 years, you obviously have kind of done a bit of work around other fields as well, but net production has still come a kind of decline. So is there something that you can kind of talk about which will help us get more confidence on the growth? And also the timelines that you're looking at on the KG 98/2 in terms of ramp up from in fiscal 25, fiscal 26, if you can give us some details around that. And the second question really was on Opal. If you can just give us an update of how the asset is doing. I read that you're running at 92% utilization now, but in terms of the restructuring, where are we and how you should think about that going forward?
Okay, I think your question is in two parts. One is with respect to the slight more view on the gas production, and second is on the Opal. So, first thing first, with respect to the gas field, we saw a decline by 2% during the current financial year, during the last financial year. As you know that we are already, it's all mature fields, where the decline is in the range of 7 to 8%. So we have been able to control the decline to a total of around 2%. We were envisaging an increase to be on a higher side of the gas production during the last fiscal. However, because of slight delays in the 98/2 project, we could not achieve those envisaged increased gains. However, moving forward, all our infrastructure has been in the Indian waters. Already we have installed the CPP already, and the LQ UP Living Quarter utility platform is in the process of installation. So we hope that we will be ramping our production somewhere in the Q3 because of certain bad weather has already started. So envisaging these conditions, we hope that we should be ramping up the production in the KG from Q3 of this year, and we should be getting the full potential of our production during the Q4. So coming from this, we hope that we will be getting incremental gas production of around 1 BCM from 98/2 during this financial year. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, your second.
Yeah, your second question to answer.
That's clear, sir. And sir,
please go ahead.
Right, so just I was asking in terms of the oil side as well, if you can give us an update of what's going on the oil production there as well.
Similarly, both the oil and the gas wells from the 98/2, we will be ramping our production from current 12,000 barrels to, we hope to get an average of around 20 in Q3 and 45,000 barrels and 10 million cubic meter per day gas production in the Q4.
Yes, sir. Yeah, good afternoon, Mike. This is KC Ramesh. To answer your questions on Opal, you know that ONGC had already announced an investment of around 18,000 odd crores for Opal, including the the backstopping support which we have already done for CCDs and the warrant, that some balance part of the warrant is there. And in addition to that, we have already invested 994 crores around in terms of equity contribution, around 49 odd %. Now, of course, the management had the plans to go for this investment with, being a Maharatna company, we need to have the approval of CCA. So we had applied to the government for the same, and we are expecting the approvals to come anytime soon. So once the approval comes, the transactions would be completed. So that's where it stands as of now. We are waiting for the approvals.
And sir, operationally, how is Opal done at the EBITDA level or at the overall operational utilization rates level? How has been that going on? If you can just give us some idea.
If you've seen the PAT numbers, we had a loss of 4,155 crores during FY23. Now that has got reduced to 3,456 crores. So a gain of around 700 crores at PAT level. And if you see the PBT level number has come down from 3,874 crores. The loss at PBT is slightly higher at 4,336 crores in the current year. But that apart, once we address the major issues of OPAL in terms of the feedstock, in terms of getting out of the SEZ, with these, we expect that we can be in a much comfortable position. The CCDs are also having much higher rate of interest, as you know. So once we convert that into equity as per the plan that we have, we can definitely have good saving on account of interest. So with these three issues being handled, we expect that the company can come out of the present position maybe in a year or two.
But EBITDA was positive, sir, or is that the way to think about, and it's more about the restructuring below the EBITDA line that is leading to the losses?
No, currently this year the EBITDA was negative. I think it was 479 crore negative.
Okay. Okay, got it. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I request the participants to restrict with 2 questions in the initial round and join back the queue for more questions. Next question comes from Nitin Tiwari from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So my question is related to the 11 discoveries that you mentioned at the beginning of the call in your opening statement. So if you can talk a little bit more about those discoveries, what is the prospect size we are talking about, and tentative timelines of basically monetization of those discoveries. And with respect to KG 98/2, a little bit of more clarification is what I needed in terms of what is the current production, and also what is your current HPHT production of natural gas in the entire production that you have. So that will be my first question, then I'll take the rest later.
Yeah, just a second, Nitin.
Yeah.
Yeah, current production, if I start with, current production of the KG 98/2 is around 12,000 barrel oil per day. And currently it is around 2.4 million cubic meter of gas, of which around 1.6 million cubic meter of gas is coming from 98/2. And 0.8 million gas is coming from the other fields like HPHT, G1 and VADA of S1 Vasishta.
So, sorry, sir. 0.8 is from S1 and Vasishta you mentioned, right?
From HPHT, G1 and VADA, that's S1 Vasishta.
Okay, sir. So current total HPHT production that we have is 0.8 MMSCMD, is it?
You can say
so. Understood, sir. And so on the monetization of discoveries and prospect size, etc., the 11 discoveries that you mentioned, and additionally, if you just a bookkeeping one, if you can give us the guidance for FY25 and 26 for crude and natural gas production in terms of the breakup that you have given in the past, in terms of what is your production going to be in terms of MOU, and also what the JV production would be for both crude and natural gas.
During this last financial year, we made around 11 discoveries.
Right, sir.
We had monetized around 7.
During the year. 3 discoveries discovered during the year or monetized in the year?
Of the 7 discoveries which has been monetized, 3 discoveries were monetized which were made during this year, and 4 discoveries were monetized which were made in the past.
Okay.
And during the current financial year, we envisage to monetize our pending, around 8 to 10 discoveries we plan to monetize during this current financial year, which are pending, which are carried forward.
So, sir, what are these discoveries? These are onshore or offshore discoveries? Any idea about the prospect size? Are they going to materially add to our production? If you can provide more color in that aspect.
I think most of the discoveries which has been monetized are primarily from the onshore fields with a small prospects. And 2 major discoveries which has been monetized are of the 98/2, flow of the first oil. And during the later part of the year, when we will be ramping our production from the 98/2, Thereafter, we will be monetizing few more discoveries, 3 to 4 discoveries will be monetized from 98/2. The other discoveries will be monetized from the onshore, what we plan to do during this year.
Understood, sir. And lastly, sir, the bookkeeping question which I asked, if you can just elaborate on the guidance for production of crude oil and natural gas in terms of your production and JV production for FY25 and 26.
For the forecast of the moving forward, we envisage to increase our production from current 39.45 MMTOE to something around 47 MMTOE. That's an increase by 20% over the next 3 years.
Okay.
And of which around 12% increase will be contributed from oil and 27% increase will be coming from gas.
47 MMTOE is in next 3 years, sir, you mentioned.
By FY27.
Okay. No specific targets with respect to crude and natural gas separately, sir?
For that, it is 19.5. We may be going up to 22. It is exactly 21.87. What we are envisage.
This is in FY27. Okay. And gas, sir?
Gas from 20 BCM, it may be going up to something around 25.5.
25.5 BC. Okay. Thank you, sir. That is all from my end. I'll get back in with you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Sabri Azarika from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. So I have a few questions. Firstly, if I look into your overall expenditure trend, so year after year, the OPEX will definitely keep increasing only. So if versus that, if I consider your net realization because of the windfall, I think it is capped at $75 per barrel. So is there a possibility that this 75 gets increased to take care of the increase in OPEX? And are you taking it up with the ministry to consider such a change in the overall windfall tax formula? Hello?
Yeah, just a second, Sabri.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, as far as your question with respect to realization is concerned, see, even at this level of say 75, you might have seen that we are in a comfortable cash flow position. So the increase in OPEX is no. Current year we might have seen is around 18,003 crores, which is about 7.2% over the last year on year-on-year basis, which is not something which is very alarming. If you see the exchange rate variation which is happening in terms of you know that we have substantial exposure in terms of forex for payments. So that's a natural increase, which is 7.2% is not something which is alarming. But at the same time, the efforts are on from our side to take up this issue of the windfall tax SAED with the government, which at our level we have been trying. But this being a government policy, we won't be able to comment anything specific on that at this point in time.
Got it. And on this this new wells and premium gas pricing, so DGH after the February communication, has there been any update in terms of implementation of the same or anything of that sort?
I'm Devendra Kumar, Chief Commercial. Government has interested DGH to look into this, and DGH has constituted a multi-company core group committee. So they are looking into it regarding the modalities of computing the well intervention pricing.
Okay, so they've told like around 7.5% would be the decline rate. So nothing further beyond that communication, right?
No, that's right. What you are saying, considering the 7.5% decline rate, Thereafter, whatever the gas is produced, that will be considered for the 20% premium price.
Right, sir. But no further. I mean, it's like still under study. I mean, it's not finalized or anything. No further updates beyond that, right?
Yeah, there is no further.
Yeah, current year's development, there was already a development in terms of the order which was issued and the 7.5% decline. So the nitty-gritties we are working out on that with the DGH, as Devendraji was saying. So based on that, we are expecting a positive outcome in terms of quantifying the incremental production.
Right, sir. And just one last bookkeeping question. You mentioned in your notes to account regarding this seismic survey adjustment due to which I think profitability and the balance sheet also had some changes. So was there any bearing on the capex from that? Was there some sort of like capitalization which happened because of that, due to which the capex went up to 37,000 crore?
Yeah, as you could see from the note, basically, let me explain this. The 4C 3D ocean bottom node seismic surveys basically we are doing in the western offshore, mainly from the point of view of increasing the production, and these expenditure is mainly incurred in the area where we already have discovery and where we are currently producing with the sole objective of increasing the production or accelerating the production. And this expenditure, obviously, since we have decided to capitalize as against what we were doing as charging it off earlier, this has added to the capex in the current year. We have current year's expenditure which we have capitalized out of this is around 1,700 crores, which is included in 37,000 odd crore which we have shown as capex expenditure.
Okay, so 2,000 crore that you mentioned plus this 1,700 crore. So we have almost like 4,000 crore. Both taxation as well as this combined, which is basically why the capex is inflated. Is that right?
Come again, 2,000 crore is with respect to what?
You mentioned this Vivad Se Vishwas settlement.
Okay, the other adjustment. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you. I request the participants to restrict with 2 questions in the initial round and join back the queue for more questions. Next question comes from Varadarajan Shivashankaran from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. So on this windfall tax applicability on KG basis, now we are absolutely sure it is not applicable since you have already moved some parcels away as well.
Yeah, just one second.
Yes, we are quite sure. We have a legal opinion on that, and we will continue to review that in future also in conjunction with the government.
Sure, thank you. On the 20% premium in terms of applicability of quantum of this thing, according to you, you had last time given some proportion of production by FY26, what proportion of gas production will potentially get that number. If you could just look in the refresh and give us that number again.
You mean to see what would be this 20% gas of the total nomination? That's what your question is?
Yeah. So what percentage of production this will be applicable on, for example, in FY26?
Okay.
I think as per the latest guidelines and the modalities which are under discussion with the DGH, we envisage that something around 24 to 25% of our gas shall be eligible for the premium gas pricing.
So this will be for of FY26 production or FY25 itself?
It will be 25% will be coming in FY26 and thereafter.
Fair enough. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Abhishek Nigam from MOSL. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the opportunity. So first question is that there's a 900 crore rupee change in stock in the standalone earnings in this quarter. So, if you can just give us some more color on that. Like, is it because of crude oil changes or price changes or something else?
Yeah, this year, as you know, we started producing from our East Coast 98/2, So for the first time, we have had some closing stock there in the FPSO, which is added to the stock numbers.
Okay. So basically, you've not been able to sell that parcel, and this is why there's a small inventory change.
Yeah,
right?
not selling in the sense that, yes, it was the stock which was there in the vessel at the end of the financial year. So the normal course of, processing and selling takes its own time. So incidentally, it was there as a stock. It's not that we were not able to sell or anything.
Yeah, I get your point. Okay, fair enough. And sir, the second question is it possible to let us know how many offshore rigs, jackup rigs, does ONGC have? And is there a shortage right now in India for jackup rigs?
I think we have got around 37 offshore jackup rigs currently in operation, and we do not envisage any shortfall of the rigs as of now.
Of the 37, 6 are owned, and the rest is hired.
Okay, 6 are owned and
we
rest are hired.
floaters. Yeah, we also have 2 floaters in addition to that.
Okay, I assume these 2 will be semi-submersibles.
Can you please repeat?
We couldn't get you. Can you repeat?
Sure. So I assume the 2 floaters will be semi-subs.
No, 2 floaters are in operation. Your question was pertaining to the jackup rigs, so I restricted myself to jackup. So we have got 37 jackup rigs plus 2 floaters.
Okay, 37, right?
Yeah, 37 plus 2.
Okay, perfect, sir. That's it from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Next question comes from Ketan Mehta from BOB Capital Markets. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Could you guide us on how do we think about the production growth at OVL and how does its profitability could grow over the next 2 to 3 years?
I think your question is pertaining to ONGC Videsh?
Correct, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. This is Vinod Hanar. Production this year we achieved 10.518 MMTOE, which is against the 10.17 which we achieved in the last year. And the outlook for the next year is it will go up to 11 in 24-25, and then 25-26 we expect it to go to 11.22. So the outlook for profitability is good in the next year, as we expect to actually ramp up production for CPO-5 and then continue with good production in South Sudan projects, where we are already achieving a number of 64,000 barrels. And then we also expect a favorable close of the Sakhalin.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Vikas Jain from CLSA India. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for taking my question. This is mainly on depletion. So depletion seems to have jumped up in the fourth quarter. Is it something linked to reserve adjustments? And what would be the next, going ahead for FY25, what is likely to be, if we assume similar levels of production, what is likely to be the depletion number that we look at in FY25?
Yeah, just one sec, Vikas.
I think you're talking about the increase in depletion on annual level of 1,745 crores, right?
I'm talking about the fourth quarter, sir. I'm talking about the fourth quarter, which might have adjusted the full year. Yeah, I'm talking about the fourth quarter, which is about 5,000 crores.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, to talk about depletion on a quarterly basis may not be the right thing to do, because what happens is normally we update our reserve numbers twice a year, once in half of the first half and again annually. So whatever additions which comes during the year gets depleted on the basis of the annual reserve numbers. But having said that, the depletion numbers generally increase on account of the new capitalization. So current year we had capitalized around 16,000 crores additionally in the assets, and that had resulted into increase in depletion by 1,250 crores. And also there is a change in the reserve to production ratio, which contributed to around 370 crores. And also, I think you talked only about depletion. You are not into depreciation, so I won't talk about depreciation. The increase in depletion in the quarter-on-quarter, there is also the main increase is in Western Offshore by 1,009 crore due to additions of wells and facilities, and then change in depletion rate around 115 crore, and change in carrying value of the assets by 141 crores. One of the factors which has also contributed to this is that, as you know, that we have capitalized the OBN survey cost this year. So on account of that, about 46 crores has got added. And in 98/2 block, depletion around 620 crores due to increase in the oil and gas asset capitalized. So these are the major reasons for increase in quarter-to-quarter depletion.
And on an annual basis, say we were at about 14,200 in FY23, that's up to 15,800 now. FY25, after this 4Q change number, how is that likely looking like? I mean, what is it that we should look at? Because, 5,000 into 4, is that what we are looking at? Or that is because that 5,000 crore has an adjustment for earlier quarters also, it is not that high a number? What should be the depletion that we look at, assuming similar production levels for FY25?
Yeah, it won't be 5,000 into 12 for sure. It is 15,861 is the number that we have for the current year. So you can probably add further depletion because of the full production which comes from 98/2. So there could be some addition coming in from there. But other than that, we expect the depletion to be at the same level as far as the other areas are concerned. So the current level plus some addition coming from 98/2.
Okay, that's with the production that comes in, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit confused on this Vivad to Vishwas thing. You said that OPEX, which is other expenditure in income statement, is higher because of some one-offs linked to Vivad to Vishwas. So should I say that there is some of it is in OPEX, some of it in CAPEX, both? And
absolutely.
So basically,
absolutely, yeah.
So how much of the OPEX jump that we see in fourth quarter can be because of some of these one-off numbers? Can you just remind us again, please?
Only on account of Vivad se Vishwas, you mean?
Or any other which you believe are largely one-off in nature?
This was around 700 crores in revenue.
See, on account of Vivad se Vishwas, mainly because of the interest that we had to pay. On 2 cases, we had to pay interest of almost around maybe 350 odd crores, 350 to 400 crores. That is one reason which is it has gone to P&L. And in total, Vivad se Vishwas would be in the range of around
1,800.
No, what has gone into the OPEX is
in fourth quarter, sir.
700 to 800.
Yeah, 700. The entire Vivad se Vishwas, in fact, has been settled in fourth quarter only, and it is around 700 to 800 crores is the hit that has gone to the P&L in Q4.
Okay. And any other element which you can say is more one-off in nature, or not really?
Just hold on for a second. Yeah, in addition to the Vivad Se Vishwas, we also had a VAT amnesty scheme that is also added by about 160 odd crores to the OPEX. So mainly Vivad Se Vishwas and VAT amnesty. This is the one-off cases.
So 750 for Vivad Se Vishwas and 160 for the other one, right?
Yeah. So annual year on year its increase is around 1800 crores, right? So of which these are the two cases which are one-off cases.
Okay. And lastly on this, firstly on KG 98/2, you said 3Q is when you see the oil picking up from 12 to 30, and then in 4Q going to that 45 mark. And for gas, you said similarly 3Q and 4Q is when you see the pickup, right?
Right here. 12 to 20, not 12 to 30. In Q3.
12 to 20 and then 20 to 45.
Right here.
Right? And gas, similarly 3Q and 4Q.
That's right.
Okay. And last thing that I wanted to ask was on this 7.5% depletion rate that you said is under discussion, which means that if, say, in FY25, and the starting year will be FY24, right? So whatever is, if 100 is your gas production, in FY25, if it remains at 100, so 7.5 will be getting a higher gas price, and remaining 92.5 will get the ceiling of 6.5 or so. Is that how I should think about it?
I think your understanding is correct.
And when you say the higher gas price, in your understanding, there is no ceiling applicable over there.
There is a 20%
right?
premium of the 20% premium on the Indian crude basket price,
which is 12% slope.
That's right.
Instead of 10%, 12% slope without any ceiling.
Right. Correct.
Okay. So, and this windfall tax thing not being applicable for KG 98/2 is not, I mean, irrespective of the fact that your production is lower than FY22 level, which is how it was decided, on all of KG 98/2 oil production, there, in your understanding, there will be no windfall tax. That's the legal opinion that you have taken, right?
That's right.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And all the best.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Next question comes from Somaya V from Avendus Spark. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. First question is on the gas production outlook. Just want to understand, you said 20 going to 25 in a 3-year time frame. If you could just help us next, I mean FY25-26, how this ramp up would be, that should be helpful. Hello.
Yeah. We said we will be producing around 10 million cubic meter gas per day from 98/2. That gives me 3.65 BCM, of which out of this 10,000 we are currently producing only 2.4. That means 75% increment of the gas will be coming from 98/2. That 3.65 ka 75% is around 2.8. And then we expect around 1.5 BCM of gas from Daman Upside project. So that is our major contributor. In addition to that, what I told about the stranded gas, which will be adding another 0.3 to 0.5 million. 0.3 with this Urja Ganga pipeline and this Indradhanush and the other areas where we are working upon. So this is a broad breakup of the major contributors.
So if I understand right, so of the 5 BCM incremental expectation, roughly 1.3, 1.4 will come from new projects apart from KG Basin, 0.3 from standard gas, and the rest all from KG 98/2.
Yeah. Daman Upside, 98/2 and the standard gas. That comes up to around 5 BCM.
Got it, sir. And this ramp up between 20 to 25, most of this will be seen in FY26, or how should we look at
it? Partly it will be ramping up, will be something around 5% ramping up in FY25, 10% in 26 and 10% in 27. So overall ramping up will be around 27%.
Got it, sir. Sir, also this capex number that we are looking at, which is 33 to 35,000 crores, this does not include any equity infusion. Just trying to understand the quantum that we need to infuse into Opal, and whether the number is included in this, and also what are the time frame that we are looking at for that equity.
The actual numbers, Opal is not included, definitely.
Even the 33,000 to 35,000, which range I had given you, Opal is not included in it.
Yeah, so just want to understand how much we need to infuse and what is the time frame within which we'll be infusing to.
So as we said earlier, we already have some CCDs in place and some warrants in place. So in addition to that, I think what we are looking at is around 10,000 crores.
10,500 crores.
10,500 crores in addition to the CCDs and the warrants. I mean, CCD we already had backstop, so we'll have to go take that as well. So total 18,300 crores. Yeah.
And this will be done over a couple of years. Is this the right way to do it?
So that modalities are to be worked because we are awaiting the clearance from the ministry.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Nitish Dutt from Burman Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, thanks for the opportunity. Sir, I have a couple of questions on the natural gas front. First one is the decline in the current year, FY24. Was all of it because of the natural decline, or were there any production stoppages, etc., in our existing fields which will get taken care of later on?
I think it's a natural decline only.
Got it. And so second, this increase from 20 to 25 over the next 3 years. Can you just give an idea on the pricing as well? Will most of it be priced at $6.5 per MMBTU pricing slab, or some of it is HPHT pricing slab? I think you had mentioned, but I missed it.
This premium price, what we are talking about, is only through the well intervention or the new gas from the nomination field. So any field coming under the OLP, NELP are not covered, or even the HPHT, it's not covered for the premium gas price. They are already getting the higher price.
So you're saying it's not within the ambit of HPHT?
It does not include the HPHT.
Got it. So it will be priced as per the 10% crude slope, is it?
The HPHT gas? No. HPHT gas is eligible, 9.87. 9.87. That is currently eligible for $9.87 per MMBTU.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Yuvan Aya from Nuvama Wealth. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for taking my question. So my question is regarding the formation of the new subsidiary that was announced in January. So just proposed now that ONGC is going to have a ONGC Green Energy Limited, if I'm not wrong, as a subsidiary. ONGC Green Limited, and we are planning to have the businesses of green hydrogen and renewable energy in that subsidiary. So out of the 33 to 35,000 capex that is expected in the next year, are we proposing to have any equity infusion or capex into that business in the next year, or is it going to be after 2 to 3 years from now?
Yeah, just a sec.
Sorry?
Just a second. Hold on for a second.
But currently,
Yeah.
see this OGL which we have formed recently is a company which directionally will be going towards working in the renewable and green, and it's just a beginning, and we would be infusing the capital based on what sort of a projects which we are going to undertake, mostly in the field of solar or wind or to some extent PSP also. So since it's just a beginning, the current capex of whatever is the figure which we talked about would not be including that, because right now we are finding out the opportunities, and based on the fit with the business we would be taking a call at that stage.
I understand, sir. So sir, India's target of 5 metric ton per annum of clean hydrogen by 2030. I understand that we as a business want to be, forming a large part of that. But I had read that ONGC is targeting 0.18 metric ton per annum of clean hydrogen by 2030. So could you just give an idea as to when are we going to at least start with that capacity, sir?
The first focus is right now on the solar and wind and others, and definitely hydrogen is on our radar. We definitely would be working in that. As I said, right now we are looking at the right opportunity, so we'll be looking into that also.
Noted, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. The last question for the day comes from Vipul Kumasha from Sumangal Investments. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. So what is the OVL production this year, and would you repeat the figure, or where we see it going in next 2 years?
Yeah, just a second. Hello. Yeah, the current year OVL production is 10.518 MMTOE, and the outlook for next year 24-25 is 25-26 is 11.22 MMTOE.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I hand over the floor to Mr. K.C. Ramesh, CFO, for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you all for being part of this earnings call this year. Normally we do have a call at Mumbai, but this year we decided to have a call from Delhi, and it was very nice interacting with all of you. Hope we could answer all your queries to your satisfaction. We look forward to seeing you and having more interactions in future. And once again, thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your conference for today. Thank you for your participation and for using Doorsabha's conference call service. You may disconnect your lines now. Thank you and have a good day.